श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्।
सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यत् इति मे निश्चिता मतिः। We are seeing Vicharasagaram, and in Vicharasagaram we had analyzed what are antaranga sadhana and what are bahiranga sadhana. To explain or to understand in short, those which are indirectly responsible will be bahiranga sadhana, and those which are directly responsible will be antaranga sadhana. Viprakrushtani, Sannikrishtani, those were the two words which were used. So what is Viprakrushtani and Sannikrishtani? Sannikrishtani, those which are closer or nearer, and Sannikrishtani as those which are nearer, and Viprakrushtani, those which are far away. So in English we can say which are directly responsible and remotely responsible. Then apply this rule to each and every individual sadhana means. So within themselves there may be antaranga bahirangato, as we had seen yajna dana tapa, performance of these karma, this is bahiranga. Why is that bahiranga? Because that is going to be helpful in aparoksha brahma jnana indirectly, paramparaya, with a step in between. And what was that step? The step was chitta shuddhi, the purity of mind, making mind conducive for brahma jnana, or to take up inquiry into Brahman. Then comes viveka vairagya samadhi shatka sampatti mumukshutta and shravana manana nididhyasana and tattvam padartha shodhana. Compared to the latter two, viveka vairagya samadhi shatka sampatti mumukshutta is going to be bahiranga, but it is considered as antaranga with respect to yajna yagadi. Then further we had analyzed shravana manana nididhyasana is antaranga sadhana, but that also is not completely antaranga, or to say sakshat sadhana. How is that? That is going to be analyzed now. ज्ञाने मुख्यांतरंग साधन श्रवणादीनां लक्षणम. In antaranga sadhana we can separate them as mukhya antaranga sadhana and gauna antaranga sadhana, primary and secondary. Primary, those which are invariably required, and those which are going to be supportive, helpful. The example will be later given, or the example which we had seen earlier. If we are to see a small object, we may use magnifying glass. Magnifying glass is going to be helpful, supportive, upakaraka. But without an eye, the seeing is not possible. Here, author says, Shravana Lakshanam. Now, what is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is going to be explained in detail and precisely. Vastutaha vicharyamane Shravanadini api na antaranga sadhanani jnanasya. First and foremost, author is clarifying. Vastutaha, in reality, if we inquire vicharyamane, then Shravanadini, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana also na antaranga sadhanani jnanasya. They are not directly responsible. They are not antaranga sadhana for jnana, aparoksha brahma jnana. Let's take brahma jnana alone here, because even for paroksha brahma jnana also they will not be directly responsible. Kintu tattvamasyaadi mahavakyani eva praman phalatvat jnanasya. But tattvamasyaadi mahavakyani, tattvamasi ityadi mahavakya, they alone are praman phalatvad jnanasya. They alone are responsible for jnana. Why? Pramana phalatvad, the effect of pramana vyapara. Here we have to understand one thing. What is pramana? Means of knowledge. Jnana sadhana. We had analyzed earlier, but let's see it again. To know something, we need to use means of knowledge. That is clear. Now, how can we categorize something as means of knowledge? See, knowledge can be gained through many different means, many different processes. But what can be categorized as knowledge and what can be categorized as means to attain that knowledge should be clear in our mind. For example, I just say a mango, and you remember the mango that you have eaten, or a fruit. Does that mean that you have gained the knowledge of a mango? No. You have just remembered, recollected that which you have known earlier. Pramana doesn't work that way. So what is a pramana? A pramana is pramayaha asadharanam karanam. A general definition. Pramayaha, for knowledge to take place, that which is the only means. Asadharana, specific. Vishesha, what do you mean? Just a simple example. To see, eyes alone are required. Without eyes, seeing is not possible. So, for seeing a shape, eyes alone, seeing a shape, better let's take rather than shape, a color. Seeing a color or to see an object, eyes alone are needed. So for seeing, what is pramana? Eyes are pramana. No other means, not by listening, not by touch, not by smell, not by taste. You can see an object in front of you. Now, the knowledge that is gained should have 4 different qualities or lakshana. It should be abadhita, anadhigata, asandigdha, smriti vilakshana. Even if this is a difficult, just understand. I am just explaining why, because pramana phalatvat jnanasya, for understanding this statement. Abadhita, it cannot be badhita. It should not get badhita, negated. Anadhigata, it should not be something which is not understood. Asandigdha, it should not be vague with any confusion. And smriti vilakshana, it should be different from your smriti. Let's understand simple. I am holding a watch in my hand. Now, when you are seeing this watch with your eyes, you have no doubt that this is a watch. This is a wristwatch. If some other pramana tells you that this is not a wristwatch, then there will be a problem. But for seeing wrist, eyes alone are pramana. Now with eyes, if someone else says, no, this is not a wristwatch, but this is a, what do we say, a bangle, then there will be a confusion. Or, yeah, bangle, let's take bangle only. Now, there will be a deliberation, and if this wristwatch gets negated and replaced with the knowledge that this is a bangle, then there is a problem. But right now, that is not the case. My eyes are clearly seeing this as a wristwatch, and this is a wristwatch. So it is abadhita, anadhigata. It is not something which is not understood. It is understood. There is, in more detail, there is better definition, better explanation for anadhigata and all these terms, but I'm not going to go into details of that now. But anadhigata, let's understand, not adhigata, not understood. So I have to understand what I am seeing. Otherwise, pramana is not working. Otherwise, my eyes are not functional. Asandigdha, there should not be any doubt. Is it this or is it that? If I start seeing two watches or two different objects at the same time, then I have to go to a doctor and check if my eyes are functioning fine or not. If I'm not able to see the watch clearly, if it is vague, it is faint, it is not clear, out of focus, then I have to go to eye specialist and check if I have specs or not. So there should not be any doubt. And just because somebody says watch, I should not superimpose a watch form, a shape of a watch in the object in front of me. It should not be out of my own mind. Now, all these qualities are in Shabda Pramana. In Vedanta, Shabda Pramana, Mahavakya or Upanishad, they are taken as Pramana, means of knowledge. Nowhere, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, by Vedanta, anywhere, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, they are not given the designation as means of knowledge. They are not means of knowledge. They are supportive, they are helpful, but they are not pramana. And if they are not pramana, then how can they be directly responsible for Brahmajnana? They can't be. Now, then, if such is the case, then what is Shravana? Author will be explaining. Pramana phalatvat jnanasya. Knowledge is gained because of pramana vyapara. By using pramana, means of knowledge alone, knowledge is gained. If Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana are not means of knowledge, then just by Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Okay, let's understand one more thing. Shravana, from Sanskrit standpoint, Shravana is Shru Dhatu. Bhave Lyut. What is Bhave Lyut? Lyut is a pratyaya, a suffix. And bhave, the meaning of bhava in Sanskrit is kriya or vyapara vachaka, vyapara bodha, where the action denoted by that verb itself is the meaning. An action denoted by the verb itself is the meaning of that word. Shru is to listen, and that is the meaning of this word. So Shravanam means listening. So listening can be of anything. Right now you are listening just a babbling of someone, that is also listening. But that does not mean Shravanam is means of knowledge. Now Shravanam, listening takes place through ears. So ears will be the means for listening that sound. But the listening which is taking place is not means of knowledge. That is not pramana. It is just the kriya, an action. Mananam is the same. Nididhyasana is also same. Separately, author is going to explain them. Then what is pramana? Author says, tam taupanishadam purusham vedanta vijnana sunishchitarthaha. Tam tu aupanishadam purusham pruchhami. I ask you that Purusha, that Brahman, which has been explained by Upanishads. Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitarthaha. Sunishchita Arthaha. Those who have ascertained the meaning of Vedanta. That which has been explained by Vedanta. And what is Vedanta? Vedanta is Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam Tadupakarini Shariraka Sutradini Cha. Vedanta is nothing but Upanishad Vakya, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra. So these are Pramana. Ityadi Shrutibhya. But the question remains, what do you mean by Shravana? Okay, I have understood. Shravanam is not means of knowledge. Shravana is not Pramana. So Shravana is not directly responsible for knowledge. Then what is Shravana? From the beginning itself, we have said, do Shravana, Shravana, Shravana is important. Then what is Shravana? Shravanam Nama Yuktya Shadvidha Tatparya Lingaihi Vedanta Vakyanam Advitiye Pratyak Bhinna Brahmani Pratyak Abhinna Brahmani Tatparya Nirnayanukula Cheto Vritti Visheshaha. Let's go to last word. Cheto Vritti Visheshaha. Cheto Chetasaha. Of mind. Vritti Visheshaha. A specific type of thought modification. What type of thought modification? It is explained. Yuktya. Yuktya by analysis, by reasoning. And what type of reasoning? Shadvidha Tatparya Lingaihi. Shadvidha of 6 different types with 6 different lakshana or 6 different steps. Lingaihi, indicators. Indicators for what? Tatparya, understanding the exact conclusion or the essence. Understanding the essence of what? Vedanta Vakyanam. Of Vedanta Vakyas. And what is that Tatparya? Advitiye Pratyagabhinna Brahmani. Advitiya, that which is Advitiya, one without the second. Pratyag Abhinna, different, not different from me. Atma, Brahman, that Brahman. तात्पर्य निर्णय अनुकूल, the cheto vritti vishesha, the thoughts or mind which is anukula, conducive for this kind of tatparya or the conclusion. In simple statement, Shravanam Nama, what is Shravana? Shravana is ascertaining with the reasonings with the help of 6 different indicators. What are those 6 different indicators? We will see. Ascertaining that all Vedanta Vakya, everywhere in Upanishad, one and one thing alone has been said, and the conclusion of all those statements is nothing but me and Brahman are not different from each other, and mind becoming conducive and helpful for this type of nirnaya, conclusion, is Shravana. Or very simple definition, as Panchadashikara says in Panchadashi, Vidyaranya Mahamuni says, Vedantanam asheshanam adi madhya avasanatah brahmatmanyeva tatparyam iti dhihi shravanam bhavet. Asheshanam Vedantanam, throughout the whole Vedanta, without leaving anything behind. Don't leave out anything. Take entire Vedanta from beginning, mid, and end. Adi, Madhya, Avasanatah. Everywhere, one and one thing alone has been said, and the one and one conclusion alone can be derived. And what is that? Brahmatmanyeva tatparyam. Jiva, Brahma, Aikya, alone is the conclusion. And when that conclusion is reached, then alone Shravanam has taken place. So now again, Shravanam, earlier we said it is listening, but it's not just listening. Is Tatparya Nirnaya or Tatparya Avadharana. If that Tatparya Avadharana has not taken place, Tatparya, the conclusion, Avadharana, understanding or ascertaining, if that has not taken place, then Shravanam has not taken place. If we want to have a transactional example, or from worldly standpoint, the example is simple. In any lecture or in school, teacher used to say, listen carefully, pay attention. Why? Because only when we have paid attention, then alone whatever that has been taught, the conclusion of that will be understood. Then in Marathi we have one proverb, नळी फुंकिली सोनारे इकडून तिकडे गेले वारे. So words, they just passed from one ear and they went out from the other ear. Nothing has remained inside. That is not Shravanam. Now, before we proceed to Manana, what is Shadvidha Tatparya Linga? Shadvidha Tatparya Nirnaya. So the definition is Upakramopasamharo Abhyaso Purvata Phalam Arthavadopapatischa Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye. Upakramaha, Upasamharaha. Upakrama, beginning, Upasamharaha, end. Abhyasa, repetition. Apurvata, uniqueness, extraordinariness, unprecedented, something which is unprecedented, or better word, originality. Phalam is result or conclusion. Arthavad, Arthavada is eulogy or praising. Upapatti is the reasoning to facilitate the understanding. What are these? There should be uniformity between the topic which has been taught from beginning to the end. It should not happen that a topic has begun somewhere else and ended somewhere differently. There should be uniformity where the topic has begun and where the topic has ended. That is Upakrama and Upasamhara. Abhyasa. Abhyasa is repetition. A point which has to be emphasized should be repeated and said again and again. Then it is not necessary that words should be same. The composition of words, composition of statement may be different, but the meaning will be the same. That is repetition. Abhyasa. Apurvata. Apurvata, a uniqueness, originality, which is something original, which I have not known or heard before. Phalam, result. Arthavada. Arthavada is eulogy, praising. Praising of that which has been taught, to draw the attention to the importance of the topic or subject matter. And reasoning, to facilitate the understanding or to facilitate the clarity in understanding. Clarity of conclusion. All these 6 indicators or all these 6 steps are used to derive the right conclusion. Upakrama, Upasamhara, beginning and end. Abhyasa, repetition. Apurvata, originality. Phalam, the result. Arthavada, praising, and Upapatti, reasoning. All these, when they point to one and one thing alone, that will be the appropriate and right conclusion. How that leads to, how that is, or better take it this way, how Shadvidha Linga Tatparya Nirnaya leads to Brahma Atma Aikya has been explained with the example of Chandogya Upanishad. But for that, we need to know what Chandogya Upanishad is in detail, so we will not go into details of that now. But understand, Shravanam is knowing Brahma Atma Aikya through Tatparya Nirnaya. So having this firm conclusion, throughout Vedanta, one and one thing alone has been told, that Brahma Atma Aikya. Atma and Brahman are not two different and separate things. Why? It will be taken up later. Now let's go to Manana. Manan Lakshanam. What is Manana? Mananam Nama Pratyak Brahmaikya Sadhaka Tad Bheda Badhaka Yuktibhihi Sada Advitiya Brahmatmaikya Anusandhanam. What is Manana? Manana is reflection. Pratyak Brahmaikya Sadhaka. Those which are conducive for Brahma Aikya, for ascertaining Brahma Atma Aikya. And all these things are at intellectual level. All these things are right now at intellectual level. Brahma Aikya Sadhaka and Tad Bheda Badhaka. Those which will be for Brahma Atma Aikya and which will negate, remove the doubt that there is difference between Brahma and Atma, or Jiva, Ishvara are different. Those yuktis, those reasonings which will be helpful in ascertaining oneness and will remove the doubts that they are different. सदा अद्वितीय ब्रह्म आत्म ऐक्य अनुसंधानम. With all these reasonings, yuktibhihi, sada, eternally, always, continuously, advitiya brahma atma aikya anusandhanam. Anusandhanam, repeatedly thinking of brahma atma aikya. And which brahma? Advitiya brahma, nirguna brahma. Nirguna brahma and atma, me, are one and the same. That is manana. But how yukti bhihi, reasonings are required here. When with reasoning we have clarity that yes, I am Brahman, then comes the next step, that is nididhyasana. Nididhyasana lakshanam. भेद प्रत्ययानंतरित और अनात्म प्रत्ययानंतरित ब्रह्माकार प्रत्यय प्रवाहः एव निदिध्यासनम उच्यते. भेद प्रत्यय अनंतरित और अनात्म प्रत्यय अनंतरित. अनंतरित, not or devoid of, better English word will be devoid of. Anantara is with obstructions in between. Unobstructed, unobstructed by bheda pratyaya. Pratyaya, thoughts pertaining to bheda, the differences, or anatma, thoughts of anatma. Brahmakara pratyaya pravaha, thoughts pertaining to Brahma. That alone is nididhyasana. Or in simple words, when our thoughts are Brahmakara, when we are thinking of Brahman, when we are trying to improve upon making our mind Brahmakara, during that, removing all thoughts which are obstructing this Brahmakara vritti pravaha. And what type of thoughts are those? Veda pratyaya or anatma pratyaya. Thoughts pertaining to difference of or being Atma and Jiva, Atma and Brahma being different, or thoughts pertaining to Anatma. That is nididhyasana. So in nididhyasana, no reasoning is taking place. Advitiya Brahmatmaikyanusandhanam is with the help of yukti bhihi. Yukti bhihi, reasoning is being used. Reasoning is helpful, but here no reasoning is taking place. That one and one thought alone is being repeated in that mind without any obstruction of other thoughts. And the author further clarifies and explains, nididhyasana paripaka avastha eva samadhi iti. And the paripaka avastha, paripaka, the conclusion, the phalavastha of nididhyasana, of that nididhyasana alone is samadhi. Alone is samadhi. Nididhyasane antarbhavat na samadhi prathak sadhanatve na ganyate. And because samadhi has been included in nididhyasana and explained as nididhyasana, it is not taken as a separate means. It has not been taken separately. It is included in nididhyasana alone. Okay, now I have understood what is Shravana, what is Manana, and what is Nididhyasana. Shravana, conclusion that throughout Vedanta, one thing and one thing alone has been told. And what is that thing? That Brahma Atma Aikya. Manana with reasoning, yukti bhihi, repeating that understanding, that conclusion, and removing all the doubts which are otherwise. And in Nididhyasana, repeating the conclusion which has been derived through Shravana and Manana in my mind, in one's own mind, and removing all anatma pratyas, all thoughts which are otherwise. Now, why all these? Why Shravana? Why Manana? Why Nididhyasana? What is the prayojana, the purpose of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana? That is explained now. Shravanadi prayojan nirupanam. Shravanadi श्रवणादीनि यद्यपि न साक्षात् ज्ञान साधनानि अप्रमाणत्वात् तथापि तानि ज्ञान प्रतिबंधकी भूत बुद्धिदोषा संभावना विपरीत भावना दीन नाशयन्ति. असंभावना संशयः विपरीत भावना विपर्ययः. श्रवणादीनि Shravanadi prayojana nirupanam, the purpose of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Even though all these Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, na sakshat jnana sadhanani, they are not direct means of knowledge, they are not sakshat. Even by apramanatvad, because they are not pramana, and because they are not pramana, they cannot give rise to any knowledge. Simple. Then also, tathapi, even though such is the case, ani, all they, jnana pratibandhaki bhuta, pratibandha, obstructing what? Jnana. What is obstructing knowledge? Buddhi dosha, some doshas, some problems in my buddhi, mind. And what are those? Asambhavana, viparita bhavana deen. Asambhavana and viparita bhavana, etc. Nashayanti, destroys. So Shravana and Manana, Nididhyasana, even though they are not pramana, even though they are not directly responsible for Brahmajnana, then also because they destroy all the obstructions in my mind. What type of obstructions? Asambhavana, viparita bhavana, etc. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana are required. What are those obstructions? Asambhavana, viparita bhavana, etc. What is asambhavana? Asambhavana, samshayaha, and viparita bhavana, viparyayaha. What is samshayaha? Iyam rajjurva sarpaha va iti kotidvaya vishayakam jnanam samshayaha. Like when you are seeing an object in my hand, now let me hold this in this way. Or this way. Now you are seeing just a part. Now there can be a confusion. Is this a wristwatch or a bracelet? Now this is samshaya. Is it wristwatch or is that a bracelet? This confusion is samshaya. So even after having heard to Vedanta, is the conclusion this or is conclusion something else? That is samshaya. And what is viparita bhavana? Viparyayaha. Viparyayaha रज्जौ अयं सर्पः इत्यादि इति अविद्यावृत्ति विपर्ययः. Now, without using pramana perfectly, without giving second thought, without rightfully inquiring, if somebody just sees this and says, no, 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 this is not a watch, this is a bracelet. And even though he is seeing that the band which is being seen around this finger is usually seen with wristwatches and not bracelets, but still if he is convinced that this is nothing but bracelet, then that is viparyaya, bhranti jnanam, a wrong understanding, wrong conclusion, wrong knowledge. Then how Shravana is helpful? Let me give you an example and then we will go the definitions of all why Shravana and Manana and Nididhyasana is required. The example is simple. A simple statement. A girl ate 15 pizzas. The girls ate 15 pizzas. Statement is simple. Girls ate 15 pizzas. Now, when you heard this statement first time, you have doubt. How can girls eat 15 pizzas? Or better, let me just rephrase this statement. Girls ate 50 pizzas. Girls ate 50 pizzas. Now you have doubt. How can girls eat 50 pizzas? So are you trying to say, was it 15 or 50? Now you have doubt in what you have listened to. So there is dosha in Shravana. Dosha in the conclusion having derived from what you have listened. So you ask again, what did you say? And I repeat my statement. Girls ate 50 pizzas. Okay, now you have concluded. This what alone which has been said. But then you have now doubt. Okay, if girls have eaten 50 pizzas, how is it possible? We can understand 15, we can understand 20 or 30, but 50? How could they digest? How is that possible? Now comes the reasoning. How many girls were there? What was the size of that pizza? Was that small or medium or large or extra large? What type of pizzas were there? Were they small or with thin crust or bigger with stuffing inside, or what type of pizza was that? Then with reasoning you understand, okay, those pizzas were bite size, those small mini pizzas which come, and each girl was given 2 pizzas and there were 25 girls. So with these analysis, with this understanding, okay, you have concluded with the reasoning. These might be the cases, these might be the reasons by which I can understand girls really have eaten 50 pizzas. But then still you have doubt. I can understand, but for girls, 25 girls to eat 50 pizzas, how is it possible? Still possible? I still have doubt. Then, because you have not seen by yourself, you have not seen that happen before, then you have to repeatedly say, girls really have eaten 50 pizzas. Why? Because what I have listened to it is that statement alone, and the reasoning alone, reasoning also points to that and that same thing. Same thing happens with Vedanta Shravana. Even after I have listened to Brahma Atma Ikya many times, I still have doubt. Is this the conclusion of Vedanta? And even though this might be the conclusion, How is it so? How is it possible? So I have to listen to it again and again to understand that alone is the conclusion. Then yukti bhihi, with reasoning, I have to understand that alone, that conclusion alone is possible. No other conclusion is possible. And then the lingering doubts shall be removed via nididhyasana, where I repeatedly use the understanding or conclusion which I have derived from through Shravana and Manana to remove the doubt which I or the understanding that I have from many births. That is, I am this body. These, these samskaras, they will crop up, they will pop up. And to remove those samskaras, nididhyasana is required. How exactly Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana will be helpful in Vedanta, that we will analyze next time. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritangamaya Om Shanti 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 Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om